Good morning from Little Creek Bee Ranch. It's February 13th, right before Valentine's Day. It's kind of cold, about 33. We're doing a simple chore, making some more hive stands, so I thought I'd share something. Real simple, nothing complicated. New beekeepers might want to pay attention. We're going to kind of work our way through the apiary. These two colonies right here, if you go back in our videos about August time, they were honey bound. This colony to my left, number 21, had too much honey down low, and the problem with that is the workers won't let the queen lay near enough bees. And I knew it, and I wasn't paying attention, and we kind of consider being honey bound as suicide, bees committing suicide, so they eat up their honey faster than normal because they don't have near enough bees. They wouldn't let her lay. So that's why you really kind of pull honey, brood honey in August time and give her some new frames to create some winter bees. And then there's a colony in the middle that was a dead out. About 2 weeks ago we busted it out, and I think this one is also. So beekeeper error, I wasn't on my game. But honey binding, you got to pay attention to it. Too much honey down low, not enough bees being hatched, and they end up committing suicide about 5 months later. Okay, hive stands, that's what we're after. See this group right here on a little knoll, piece of metal, tin down on the ground, and then 2 cinder blocks, and then 2 4x4 beams. That's the perfect stand for me. I like the way that setup is. It's not too low, it's not too high, and we're out here in open pasture where the winds can really cook it. And we've had 80-mile-an-hour winds topple hives before. No matter what bricks you set on, they're going down. So we set them up this way. We're going to start some new hive stands this year, and we're going to kind of stagger them. If you can kind of see, we don't want them in a direct line. Now I'll come back later and I'll put in some tin underneath the cinder blocks, and I had to pick some beams, some landscaping beams, or 4x4 beams. 2 or 3 colonies a set is kind of what I like to do. There's one we passed by, here's another one we'll set up, and kind of offset, there's another one, and we'll go back over yonder, maybe do 2 over there. The one by the bush is dead out, that stunk, that was a good group. And then another here, we'll do a couple, we'll readjust that set. We're facing south, there's Inola Hill. Star used to hide out. That's south, and so we like to place the hives facing south and catch some good wind. We just kind of turn around, and if you can see, let's see if I can see. Right there is a double empty brood box for a swarm catch. The top box has got frames in it. The bottom box is empty. Give them a volume, a big volume for a swarm. Now they're not swarming yet, we're just getting things ready, but they'll go in that hole and go up, and there'll be frames waiting for them up top. We'll put some swarm lure in there, and then we have our hilltop apiary, and we've made some extra stands up there, and we'll use this little knoll where these 2 are sitting here, and we'll kind of come on across there and we'll set up some more. But my point in showing you this is don't create a whole line of hives. If you get drifting, in other words, you just create a big old long line, and the bees, they just take whatever's coming at them first. They like to go to the ends, and you'll have real strong hives on the ends, and the middle ones will be weaker. Bees aren't really monogamous like geese are. Bees are like who's got the best program. and if the hives on the end have got the best program, they're going to be the ones that get all the bees, and they'll be super strong, and you'll have to thin them out, and the middle ones will be weak. So I just try to break them up in pairs and triplets. There's another swarm catch box, double brood box, bottom's empty, top's got frames, and just kind of break them up so that you don't create a big old line of hives, and they end up drifting to the ends, and then you have weak colonies in the middle and strong ones on the end. You gotta change your thinking about bees. They're a little different than you think. They're not as committed to their house as you think they are, and the drones for sure aren't. They're roamers. So just give it some thought. You got to place some beekeeping chess, man, you got to think ahead. The bees are already on to springtime. They're making changes in the house and getting ready way before you ever think of spring. So we're getting ready to feed this week. It's going to be nice and warm this weekend. And there's a pile of tin, a tin with some more landscaping posts. So keep the grass down. We'll mow right by these with a riding mower real careful. Throw the exhaust and the grass away from them. And then we'll take a battery-powered weed eater and just zip right around them. Get the bees used to you mowing around them. Don't ever bump the hive, you know, but get them used to you mowing. Wear your veil and gloves for what you're doing. Wear protective gear. Also, too, now here's another tip. If you see this colony sitting right here, there's two little bushes sitting right there next to them, and there's a tree there and a bush there. I set these colonies up kind of strategic based upon where the closest nearest bush is, because when they do want to swarm, they'll hit those little bushes. And what are they, 5 or 10, 15 yards away sometimes, and they'll hit them. If you set your colony up strategically placed, so what is that, off to almost 2 o'clock position, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock from the colonies, and they hit those two bushes right there, trees, a lot. And there's that one little tree right there they've hit a lot, and there's that little short rose bush way over yonder they hit a lot. So they hit them, and don't go and cut a bunch of stuff down. Now my wife says I need to cut these cedars down. She's probably right, because they go crazy. We need to cut them back. But these hardy little trees, we want to keep those hardy trees pruned back and clip them down. We don't want them getting 8 foot tall. Prune them up so it makes a swarm catch easier. You got to kind of think ahead. Anyway, there's some tips for you, man. I hope that helps. I hope everybody's following along. We appreciate all the comments, and hope it's making your beekeeping a lot better. If you like what we do, you know, please pass us along to other people. We've got quite a following now. That's awesome, man. Teaching people about keeping bees. Have an awesome day. It's cold.